And welcome back to somebody on the rest of my hands, another edition of NXT Out of 10. And of course, there's a lot going on with Trick Williams winning the NXT title last week and it being night 2 of spring breaking. So yeah, we're going to go into it without further ado. And the show opened with a recap of Trick's win. He came out for his press promo with the crowd chanting, "Whoop that Trick." Lash congratulated him on his win, but Trick reminded her that she tried to slap him the last time they were in the ring together. They talked in circles for a few minutes, but the segment ended with no real revolution or advancement. I don't know, I expected maybe a bit more from his first promo as champ, but you know, sets an interesting storyline narrative going forward. Before it's time for Ivar against Otis, for the North American Championship. They started by running ropes until the challenger scored the first takedown. He sent Femi out of the ring and hit a senton from the apron. Both men are powerhouses who can work at a quick pace, so this was much more energetic than some bouts that we have seen with similar competitors. While they displayed a great athleticism and energy, it felt like something was missing from this match. Being predictable was a factor that May have picked up. As expected, Femi won. Wesley made his return and and confronted the champion after, which was amazing. But you know, I really enjoyed these type of matches. Like I say, it was maybe a bit predictable, which brought it down a bit, but I think the Wesley return at the end, how unexpected that was from his major injury, really elevated it. So on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. We then got Thea Hale against JC Jane. JC was shown pumping Thea Hale out before she came out to take on her best friend JC. And they came through the crowd instead of down the aisle. Jasmine Nix accompanied Jane to the ring. Thea opened over that, so Jane took her down by the legs and claimed control. We want that out to be our first break with Toxic Attraction member putting Hale in the corner. Unfortunately, this bout only lasted a couple more minutes when we returned. Hale winning was the right call, but it never really felt like it came close to reaching its full potential. For some reason, Fallon turned on Hale and attacked her after the match. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought pretty decent match, but yeah, Hale getting a win was probably where it was going to go, and yeah, in a way it's quite predictable, but you know, I like the story element of it. Before it's time for the OC versus Tyson, DuPont and Igui, and yeah, they made their NXT debuts this week. The newcomers are both big powerhouses, so yeah, Gallows started off for the OC in an attempt to wear them down. In a surprising result, Gallows and Anderson won pretty quickly. WWE had several video packages for them, so it felt like a strange decision to put them in a loss like that, but I don't know if there'll be an added storyline to it or if this could just be it. So yeah, for the benefit of the doubt, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, but a questionable debut, and yeah, I'm worried that the OC are probably going to go and win the tag team championships, which I really don't want to happen, because yeah, Axiom and Fraser together are so good. Before GM Ava Rain announced that she was having an upcoming women's match, when she was interrupted by Jada Parker, then Soul Worker Grace and Mia Yim showed up. Before we got the next match featuring Sean Spears taking on Ridge Holland. Spears was immediately trying to play mind games, but the Englishman power allowed him to take control. The match cut to a commercial after less than 2 minutes, so yeah, we can only see most of it in picture-in-picture. Holland's won a few minutes after we returned, and yeah, it kind of felt like it didn't up the ante too much, but I think, you know, two experienced guys going at it, Holland getting the win, could be big for him, but yeah, you just have to question what Sean Spears' point in NXT is, because you know, I thought this was a fun match, but yeah, just where do we go from it? For this alone now, I'll get it 7 out of 10. Before it's time for the Axiom and Nathan Fraser team to take on AOP, Scarlett, Karrion Kross and Paul Ellering were all at ringside. The champions went right after the challengers and started fighting before the ref could call the bell. AOP regrouped at ringside and the match got started. As soon as that happened, Ankam took Fraser down. The majority of this bout was AOP dominating their opponents. The size and power was too much for high flyers in most instances. Kross, Scarlett and Ellering were ejected from ringside after being caught trying to help. While the ref was distracted, Bate and Dunn attacked AOP and paved the way for the champs to retain. The match had some good energy and a few great spots, but the way it kind of ended made the champions look a little weak, but I thought yeah, it's still a fun match nonetheless, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 despite that criticism. Before it's time for Lola Vice against Natalia in an NXT Underground match. Vice had Baszler in her corner while Natalia had Petrovic, and performance talented talents surrounded the ring and watched as they spilled out to the ring while fighting. They worked hard to make this feel a little more of a standard fight than a wrestling match, and since there was no ropes, they kept most of the action on the match with submission and strikes. Baszler tried to get involved but ended up being thrown out of the ring by Natalia, who then locked Vice in a sharpshooter. Baszler grabbed Petrovic in the choke and forced the Queen of Hearts to break her submission to save her. When she got back in the ring, Vice nailed her with a back fist and immediately started pounding on her until the ref called for the bell and declared the winner. The stipulation isn't a difficult one because it isn't a standard match. They are working a different style of fighting, so it can sometimes feel out of place on a show filled with traditional bouts. Both women did a good job with what they had to work with. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 for me. I thought it was a pretty decent show on the whole. And yeah, I think, Vice getting the win I think it's big for her. Natalia, she can eat a loss. The whole NXT Underground format, I'm not totally convinced by, but I thought for what it was pretty alright. So yeah, I'll give it 6 out of 10. Overall, NXT gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I think, yeah, on the whole, this show is pretty good. There's no actual good matches on there. Femi against Ivar, obviously coupled with Wesley's return. And yeah, I think some other matches were decent. It's nice to see some special matches, like especially NXT Underground in the women's division getting an outing was decent. So yeah, on the whole, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.